field trip?
Field trip! Field trip to the Marco Pinball Studio on Marco TV, PinTech Live. We made it, everyone, to episode 50. And of course, we had to bring Midge on camera with us today.
Yeah.
We have our full little PinTech team, most of the PinTech core team right here.
Wait, there's more people I don't know about?
Well, Crystal's part of our PinTech team.
But she's
she
not
does
here
the
today.
Pintroductions. She's
Yeah.
not here. Maybe she's here in the chat, or eventually will join us in the chat.
Hopefully.
Anyways, let us know how we sound, everyone. Midge, you say something.
Hey, everybody. How am I coming through?
I think
Looks
I
good
have
on
my
that.
microphone on today, so I should be good too.
Midge, everyone's so excited that you're
I'm
here.
excited. I'm excited to be here. It's amazing. Episode 50. Wow.
We
We
didn't
made
get
it
canceled.
50 weeks. 50 weeks of Kyle teaching us how to pinball.
How to pinball?
Oh, Rhett Reese is here.
How to do
Welcome.
one aspect of pinball. Arguably
Mark
the best
Friedberg,
aspect of pinball.
welcome. Kaz, welcome. Hello, Don. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. I have my
Too
own
hot.
monitor here so I can
Of
read
course,
the chat.
of course, Colin. Of course.
Too hard it. What does that mean?
every other day at least. Sometimes every day. So.
Any streams at Pin Brew? So none of us will be going to Pin Brew. That's this weekend in Ohio, right? I
Yes.
keep messing that up.
I think it's in Ohio, and I think they have a really good looking swap meet.
No, that is not Mark Mandeltort. That is Steve Midget.
Good old Steve.
Hey, what's up? 808 X. Nintendo Joy-Con colors on Midget's. Oh, how did you know? No, that's
Good
the
call.
Marco Stern.
Yeah, it's Marco and
headphones.
Stern. That's what it's for. Yeah, not Nintendo Joy-Con colors at all.
He's a poser. He doesn't even have a Switch.
Thank you so much.
He's right.
50s was
He's
fun.
right.
So today we're gonna just be chatting with everyone. We want everyone really participating in the chat today as we kind of talk about the evolution of PinTech Live. You know, what y'all's favorite parts of it's been, what episodes we can do in the future. And Kyle is gonna work a little bit more on Jungle Lord. So Kyle, do you want to tell us just maybe I should not have butt cam going on. Tell us what you're working on today.
Until I get bored doing it, I'm just trying to work out the last couple bugs, and then I want to come talk in the chat and stuff like that.
Ooh, Kyle, you never answered an email.
What email? Oh, man, I read through a
Our
part of
friend
it.
in Hawaii.
Yeah, no, I read through a part of it. I will respond to you tomorrow. I've been so busy, I haven't been
Holding
able
out
to
on the stream.
do anything fun via email lately. So, same with Rhett. Rhett is probably in there being like, Kyle, you didn't read my email either. Sorry. Lots of emails to do this week. Anyways,
he
I'm
said,
just trying to make the drop
"Right."
targets work good. I had one of the magnets not working, but I found that the switch was all crushed and it was like staying on at the flipper button. So I fixed that little problem. Now it's just a matter of getting the drop targets to be happy, and I can replace the flipper return frames. I got a set of those on order from good friend Cliff at Passion for Pinball. And yeah,
Nice.
it'll be done pretty soon.
Rhett said, how about Bally Show Done It Reels? Who done it? Reels? What do you mean?
Whodunit reels? Probably whodunit reels. I wish I had one to show you. I wish that I had all the games to show you this kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that's it. We should just get a whodunit so we can work on the reels on PinTech
we definitely need a whodunit because it's a
send
great
us
game.
your Who Done It, and we'll
and see it
work on
featured live on PinTech.
There you go. The offer is always open.
We'll do it for
Whoever
free.
wants to send your pinball machine to us in Columbia, South Carolina,
I think that's fair.
we'll make it famous.
Famous. We'll make it do something.
Great sound today. Oh, great. Thank
Wow.
goodness. That's a feat in itself.
That's like a real compliment considering we can never get sound well. Hey, we did it today, guys.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't know why it's speaking of which. I just got pinged and it reminded me. We have started our own Discord channel. So if is anyone on Discord in the chat? Are you on Discord? We just wanted to keep our communications open with everyone, and we thought that making a Discord channel would be a great way for us to all connect outside of Thursday's time slot.
Yeah, I think it would be cool, especially do like some maybe slightly extracurricular things, because I do think some of y'all are PC gamers, so playing some video games would be fun.
Kyle said he didn't think this was a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to post our invite, Discord invite, in the chat. And I think if you click that, you'll get put into our Marco Pinball Discord server. And then we have a channel for PinTech Live. We even have a voice channel for PinTech Live. So maybe one day you can talk to Kyle.
I don't do voice. That costs extra.
On your voice.
I like Discord as a service
Mr.
though,
Love.
because I do have like, I went onto Facebook the other day, and someone that watches our show but does not like participate in the chat. I think maybe he watches via VODs or something, but like he had sent me an email. He's from Charleston, and he sent me an email a couple days ago or a message on Facebook, and was like, I need to drive this Indiana Jones to like Pennsylvania, and it's doing all this stuff. Like, can you come look at it? And I never use Facebook, and I didn't see it until like the day before he said he had to take it somewhere. So, anyways.
Yeah, so Discord might be a little bit better. Discord is I don't know, how would you explain Discord? A chat server?
Yeah.
It's free service. You just download it on your phone, on your computer, and it's just chatting.
It's a chatting thing. It's
Group
used
chat.
a lot by gamers, and I mean, I've used it before for like just groups. Like my old motorcycle riding group, we had a Discord server where we'd plan out going on rides and stuff. Oh, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. He's calling out my shirt. I need to thank Rebecca and Jordan in Austin, Texas, the Fliptronic crew, for getting me some Buc-ee's merch. It's been my dream to go to Buc-ee's.
I don't think we've seen you really wearing any red shirts.
Yeah, I agree.
Good luck.
Looking sharp.
Thank you. I don't wear anything other than black because I can spill stuff all over it and it never gets dirty. And every time I wear a shirt that's not dirty, that's the day I spill coffee on it or something. So I just don't do it anymore.
If you only drink like fruit punch today, then you should be okay.
You're safe.
Clever.
Yay, happy 50. Thank you.
Yes.
Join our Discord channel, DeWisp. And everyone else, you're on Discord, surely, right?
I don't think I've had anybody call me Tom Green since like the early 2000s. It's been a long time. You don't remember him?
I remember, and I love Tom Green, but I don't see it. Maybe if he didn't have a whole bunch of facial hair. Tom Green doesn't have an epic beard, right?
He had a little beard, yeah.
He had a little one.
Little goatee. Yeah. Cut your hair into a goatee, and then we'll start calling you Tom Green.
No, thanks. I'm good.
And then you could like jump into piles of trash.
I'm good.
What a guy.
Bex Rex likes your Bucky shirt.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I was gonna put my hat on, but then I forgot to go get it, and then I was gonna bring a beer and a koozie and hide it, but I didn't bring it. But I have a Bucky's koozie, and that adds to my sweet koozie collection. It really makes it seem like we need to have a Marco koozie to honor 50 episodes of this, whatever we're doing here.
Oh, wow. Tom Green does have a big beard. He looks cool now.
Nice.
Look at him rocking this cowboy hat. Goodness.
What does Tom Green do nowadays?
It looks like he's traveling and doing like a travel show. There's one where he's visiting the ghost town in Death Valley, and he has a dog and a donkey with him.
Huh.
He's wearing a cowboy hat.
Ghost
It
towns
was
are
posted
fun.
3 days ago. I'll have to watch it.
What's it
Thanks,
on?
808, for that recommendation. We need Marco Koozie. Should we really make Marco Koozie?
Yes.
I mean, why not? I think it's a great idea.
That's a wonderful thing. Koozies are my favorite like handouts at pinball shows and stuff because
I thought people didn't like koozies. I thought that was like a 90s thing.
yeah, but everything old is new again, so it's coming around, baby.
Huh.
I think.
Marco koozies. All right.
People in Austin are obsessed with koozies, huh?
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
Bex Rex agrees. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
You
That works.
crave koozies. Huh. All right. Koozies are good because they're pretty affordable and lightweight to ship.
Yep. And they're useful. We're going to bring it back.
Outdoor beer drinkers still like koozies.
Right.
Huh.
So there you go. We've got market input. We've got koozie enthusiast input. It's time. Just let's do it.
All right. I'll make some. Maybe I can do the 36 years Marco Pinball koozie. Then it dates it. Is that okay? It's cool.
Make it look all
It's okay,
80s, yeah.
80s.
Yeah. 36 years. Koozies are from the 80s, 90s.
Oh.
Oh, hey, hold on. Wildman says, thanks for the help, got my Twilight Zone flippers working. What did you do? Or what did I say? Or what
How
did...
long has it been? It's been like 6 PinTech episodes. I'm glad it's finally working now. Finally.
Got my Buc-ee's shirt.
What was it? You told him to switch out an Opto switch. That could have gone bad, right?
Yeah, I think
that
I
was
told
his
him to
last
swap the
thing to
Opto
check.
boards, but I'm really curious about this now.
One with a zipper and a Marco coin for a pull tab. Wow.
That's funny. We have a lot of those, whatchamacallit. those
Wait,
keychains.
so people like the bottle koozies better than the can koozies? Oh, God.
I mean, I drink more bottles and cans, but I mean,
Would you take the time to put a bottle koozie on your beer?
I'm not a big koozie guy, but I mean, that's just how it goes.
I like collecting them, but I don't use them tons. Like, if I'm outside, I'll use them, but... Opto. Okay, great. So it was the Opto board. Nice. So I wish I
Yay,
would have recommended that
congrats.
earlier. Maybe I did. Maybe I need to check myself and see if I did tell you that the first time.
It doesn't matter. It's the past, and it's working now. So that's
And he was able to get the replacements from Marco. Yeah.
Yay! Love it, Kyle.
I don't know why being outside is a koozie thing. I think it's a lot about the condensation. I don't know. It's just pleasing to, I don't know.
Will the koozie fit in our pin buddy with a can? Is the pin buddies wide enough to fit a koozie and a can in there?
I
Totally.
don't know. Maybe we should. You know what? I'll try with my Buc-ee's koozie that I got from the wonderful people in Austin, Texas that frequent
Because
the show.
we have this awesome kit now, the Pin Buddy install kit, which it comes with the longer leg bolts and then the leg protectors and stuff like that. So maybe when we make koozies, we can add a koozie to that pack.
Yes. Okay. See, I
That'd be
like the way
fun,
you're
eh?
thinking. These live sessions in front of people are way more productive than a lot of my product meetings that I have in the office. I like this. This is good.
Oh.
We're bouncing off each other.
This is the ideas episode, everyone. So in the chat, any type of ideas you want to see us live stream or do, throw them in the chat. You guys do a great job at that anyways, and I always write them down. But today, especially since we're really focusing on chatting, let's talk about what else we can show on PinTech Live.
Yeah, we want to. I want to start mixing it up. Like, I
Thank
think that, there are so many of you that join in and hang out with us here that, like, we could turn something pretty discussion based, and I think it might be fun to discuss games, right? It's like maybe every Thursday it won't necessarily be PinTech. Maybe one Thursday we will talk about the history of a game or what is inside the game or something like that, as opposed to like trying to come up with like a lesson plan to fix something. You know what I mean? I don't know if that sounds enjoyable to some people, but we're trying to like come up with more ideas, so it's not just, hey, let's fix this, hey, let's fix that, because sometimes it does get repetitive.
Why were there $6 in quarters in the rotating?
Oh no, Tim Peters. I'm sorry you missed our code. But yeah, so every Thursday on PinTech Live, we will reveal a 24-hour free domestic shipping code for orders over $99. So if you missed out, I'm sorry, but next time. Yeah, so Kyle, real quick, if we mail you to Austin, you can fix a Farfalla potentially, depending on what's wrong with the Farfalla. Have you had a lot of experience with
Zachariah games?
lab games? Zachariah?
Not a lot of experience, but I've fixed
Sorry,
enough
Tim.
of them. They're pretty simple. The computers aren't that hard to get working.
Soundboard issues.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to do that. I hate sound right now. No,
We
let
might
me
come to
come
Austin
down. Let me check
anyway,
it out.
but-
I don't know. Sound is weird. Is it sound or is it speech? Sound and speech are separate, I think, on Zachariah boards or their system. I don't know though.
And then also, Kyle, 808 has got permission to do a live stream from a swank crib overlooking the ocean and Maui with a sunset view.
Oh, beautiful.
So go ahead and book
Well-
your ticket on your own expenses, Kyle. You were talking about wanting a vacation, so now you get to go to Hawaii.
Hawaii. Let's go together. Let's do some sweet Hawaii content.
I wonder how many pinball machines there are on Maui.
I bet we could get that answer right
Yeah,
now.
I think we talked about that last week, and there's not too many on location, although there seems like to be a fair amount of collectors in Hawaii in general. You should
History
know.
of
You're from
Danny and the
Hawaii.
haters.
Yeah, I haven't lived in Hawaii since I was like 12. But yeah, I
No?
should know how many pinball machines are on Maui. Yeah.
So, Kyle, it looks like it's fluctuating sound levels, and sometimes it can't remember things for
That's
the
sad.
Farfalla.
It sounds like it's getting old and dementia or something. I don't know. Let's talk about it sometime. That'd be fun. When I'm in Austin, I will absolutely come and try to help you with it. I don't have any Zachariah games here. It's been a while, but I could probably give you some ideas, or at least where to start.
Nice.
15
808
games
got
on
some
the
pin
big
skates.
Damn.
I love
Nice.
the pin skates. We use pin skates when we deliver the games for Project Pinball, like rolling them into the hospitals, and it's so convenient. 'Cause sometimes you have to go through all these long corridors just to get to the room they're going into.
Do I have my
Pin skates are
here?
great for that.
Let me show you some stuff with the pin skates.
Mr. Loaf, what part of Alabama will you be going to? I
Can you
might
put the
be
handheld
there.
camera on really quick?
Oh, look, Kyle's gonna do pin skates. Yes.
Pin skates
And
are the
then-
greatest things, and I think a lot of people discount them because they have one inherent design flaw. With one simple modification, you can make these things like amazing.
Yeah, you write Kyle on there with a Sharpie,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then it's perfect.
here's the thing: when you're moving games in and out of like a pinball show, you tend to lose tools. So I always mark my territory. Anyways.
yeah.
Oh, that
Gotta
side
mark
says
your
Kyle.
territory, man.
That side has my initials. Anyways, the pin skates have like three holes drilled in them or something, like super wide body hole. Then I don't remember which ones. I think this is an original hole. Then there's like a little bit less, and then another hole. I always drill out all the holes in between, so you can
Oh, so
really.
you put those holes in there.
I drill all these extra holes because
It
that
looks so perfect. I thought it came
you
like
can
that.
drop the games will fall off the pin skates a lot because you're forced to put them in like a certain bit, right? Where
Yeah.
sometimes in some games the legs like flare out from a cabinet a little bit and they won't fit right. So this gives you the adjustability to get down there and get these really tight on the legs. So if you have a set of pin skates, drill extra holes and they turn into your favorite tool. And also,
You have the mod for the arm, right? So 808 said his
Yeah.
biggest concern about the pin skates is the arm slipping and scraping the leg finish.
So-
yeah, there's a hack
well,
for that.
yeah, so one thing is like first off, they won't slip if you do it this way. to throw a game on pin skates, to do it like super aggressive. Actually, heck, why the hell not? Let's just move this thing down here right now.
Let's do it. Yeah, pin skate spotlight. Why didn't that be the product spotlight?
Sorry, the floor sucks, but this is the
Kyle.
way I get games on pin skates because I hate delivering them on carts. Wicco
At least it
pinball
looks
dolly carts
vacuum.
are awful unless you're on anything but super
Thank you for the
smooth,
bits,
perfect floor.
Pernicious.
So the reason why this is handy and why I like to drill these extra holes is because you can force the tightness the exact way you need it, if that makes sense. So you can slip them on, and then we can start bringing them out, right? So this kind of fits, but it's still really loose, right? They could slip around the leg leveler if you're not too careful. These legs are gross. I'm going to replace them before
Doesn't
this
it
game
tighten
comes
up
home.
pretty good when you lift the lever though?
No.
No.
But look at this, right? Even if if this thing starts flexing, it doesn't take much for this to slip around that, and then the game comes crashing down.
Oh,
So-
that sounds terrible.
What you can do, what I do, is get down on your legs, right? Get one leg and flare the leg out, kick it, and get it like as tight as possible. Because now I've flared the legs out enough where this doesn't move at all. So now you can lift it up and it's never gonna fall off. So this is, when I'd have to park like a block away and then roll a game up a hill in San Francisco to get it in some fancy condo, like this is super secure and you can roll a game around on the street really easy.
Yeah, I think if you're going up hills in San Francisco, that mod might be necessary. But
Yeah.
just getting it from your driveway into your house, I think you're going to be okay.
You will not, because you'll start going over those little cracks and it'll jiggle and it'll come crashing down.
Dude,
Trust me on this.
I have moved 50 plus games with pin skates. I have never dropped one.
It's happened so many times, and it always happens when someone's watching.
It's gotta be a technique thing then.
We're not gonna show it on the show either.
Yeah, demonstrate the game
Sorry.
crash, Kyle. Yeah.
We're not
Can't
going to
give us
crash a
enough
game
bits
down,
to do that.
but if you have pin skates and you have a drill some extra holes, and you will have a
and
much
show
better
show your
experience.
arm where it goes to the legs. This would be good to do for your pin skates 808, where you just kind of,
This is just
I mean,
gaff
it's just
tape,
taped up.
but normally what I'll do is I'll get like aquarium tubing, PVC tubing, and cut an edge in it and then fold it around either side, and that'll usually get them to stick. The aquarium tubing works really well, but you have to get stuff that like is tight enough around this shape right here. This is the biggest downside now because every game has fancy powder-coated legs and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
you
you
will.
don't want to scratch them up.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Someone was asking, who is it? Kaz asked, what size holes do you drill?
Whatever size the button fits, I don't remember. I have a step drill bit. It's one of the you'll drill like a 16th or an 1/8 inch hole, and it's one of those like drill bits that looks like a Christmas tree where it's got like one size and then another size and then another size, and I just bore it down to whatever size this hole is. I forget. I'm sorry. I don't have a
Nice.
caliper here to measure, but
Oh, yeah, and a good tip from Dennis on Facebook saying you can use heat shrinking tubing too.
yeah, heat shrink tubing is a little thin, and you're forcing like all the weight on a pinball game here, and when it starts to chafe, it can rip. The gaff tape has worked pretty well for me too, but it needs reapplication pretty often. So I like the aquarium
Yeah.
tubing because it doesn't break.
Dennis is saying, or the plastic tool handle dip.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's not
That's
a bad
We should
idea.
do that on a show. Can we do that on a show? You dipping stuff into plastic tool handles?
Maybe.
Dips? Wouldn't that be cool?
I think it would
It's
be
like-
cool.
Arts and
Yeah.
crafts time. I'm putting it in the notes.
We can try to upgrade my old pin skates a little bit more. I do need to get some new casters. The 8-year-old casters or whatever on these have fallen apart. I only have 1 out of 4 left, so I don't use these on deliveries anymore. I use them around. Well, I do. I only use these outside. So, anyways,
Need no bills. Well, cool. Since we're in the product spotlight mode, let's go to our official product spotlight for today.
about that.
Come on, Kyle.
I was hoping you'd
Oh
forget about
my
it because it's still it's across the room and it's all laid out, so it's not actually in a bag.
So go like this and like slowly bring it to the table.
It's still in photography mode.
It's in the It's in the kitchen.
Yeah, I can go grab it.
All right, get like a sheet of paper, and then scoot it onto it, and then bring it over, and I'll start the video.
You might need to give me more time than that. I'll go try.
All right, in the meantime, how many pinball machines on fire can Kyle jump over on a motorcycle? Ooh. I would guess
8.
1. 8. Wow.
8. Yeah.
You think he can do 8?
I think he could do 8. Yeah, with the right ramp. Yeah, I mean, we're talking like head to front, right? Like not side by side, but head to front. I think 8.
Oh. Head to front 8?
Yeah.
That's like math is hard. What's 8 times 6? Almost 50 feet, right?
I mean, they don't call him Evil Kyle Neville for nothing.
Are we giving him enough time to get the product spotlight? Awesome. Yo, nice. You put the pin skates link on there.
This is not working well.
On his Harley. Kyle's doesn't have a Harley.
Kyle's more of a BMW man.
If he could grow facial hair, he might.
He might get more pinball machines to jump.
Yeah, that too. All right, I'm going to go to the product spotlight and see if he makes it back in time. Evil Kyle Knievel.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, God.
I gave up on trying to make it pretty, though.
WPC Spare Semiconductors Kit.
Wow.
It's over $53 worth of commonly failed electronic components for Williams WPC systems.
It's amazing. Hey, do the small camera. Evil Kyle Knievel. Yeah, I don't know. The last time I really hurt myself was jumping my dirt bike where I should not have been jumping my dirt bike, so I'm not sure if I could do that much anymore. I'm too old. Handy kit if you have WPC games. It's actually kind of a handy kit if you own like any Williams game because most Williams games use all this hardware anyways. This kit is comprised of many things that break all the time due to your error or age error. In this kit, we've got a couple big drive transistors, TIP36s. We've got some TIP 102s. So this is like all stuff to drive solenoids here. You've got the 2N5401s. So you've got, in WPC, they used 3 drive transistors. You had like a pre-driver for the normal transistor.
Tilt down a little bit.
Yeah, and then for the really big stuff, they would run it on these monstrous TIP 36Cs. Anyways, yeah, these blow up, right? Transistors can fail. But this will give you all of the ammunition in your toolbox to be able to fix things when they do fail. Not only are we talking about like just drive transistors, I think this kit also comes with, you've got TIP 107s for in the lamp matrix. Usually, you don't very commonly have lamp matrix failures in WPC, but when you do, hey, why not have the stuff on hand? You've got some commonly failed chips as well. The most common one is this guy. The ULN 2803. Remember how I like to tell you to turn the game off when you're adjusting switches? Especially on a WPC game, you definitely want to, because as soon as you put solenoid voltage to the switch matrix, this usually ends up with a big old hole in it somewhere. It's really common for people to buy a game. It's like, oh, it's just a fuse, you know, ground short error. No, it's because this thing's blown up. So this is a good thing to have around. It comes with sockets for each of these chips as well, because you don't replace a chip unless you put it in a socket. It's a waste of time. And it also comes with LM339s. These are like a comparator chip that's really commonly used in opto circuits. It can translate like the magical voltage signal into a switch input the computer can read. And these do fail as well. So, oh, and diodes, because you can never have too many diodes. So yeah, a little bit of everything. These are the good diodes too, the 1N 4007s, which are good up to 1,000 volts. So you can use this in any application in your game, on a coil, on a switch, in a high voltage section. They're great. So yeah, there you go. This is a good kit, and I recommend if you have a WPC game, even if you have a System 11 game, this has a tie-over. So if you have a combination of both, I would recommend getting it. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
I
job,
put the
Kyle.
kit in the chat. Hang on.
It's a good kit.
Is
How much
that
does it cost? Like 40 bucks, 45 bucks?
Yeah, $39.99.
Yeah, it's a pretty
$39.90.
good deal for having having this all in one place. I think you will use it. Yeah. Ta-da! Anywho, now I get to put this
Yay!
back somewhere else.
Sockets for life. Rhett asked, "Is that an issue with his stars?"
No. I still don't know what's going on with your stars. I need to call you one day and we'll figure that out. Your stars is having a goofy problem, and I'm sure we could figure it out if we were both looking at it, but we'll try the phone call thing first before I drive out to Sacramento, so.
Or you could do it over Discord.
I think I'll do it in person when I finally get to go home and visit.
Did anyone
my
join
friends.
our Discord server yet? Let's see.
Did anyone? Yeah, let's check.
Yeah. Mr. Love, The Wisp, Pin Daddy.
Heck
That's
yeah.
awesome.
All right, good. Maybe I'll start using
Matzo ball.
Discord a lot more now.
Oh, Ragrock. Yay, Ed. We're glad you could use the free shipping code. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, hey,
Every week.
Meatloaf Man, what do you think about our super sweet shipping code?
Love, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Meatloaf Man.
so yeah, if anyone noticed, we did name our shipping code this week PT-Pop-Tart. Since we had this crazy long extended Pop-Tart conversation last week, if anyone was a part of that, thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah. I think I still need to go to the grocery store and buy some Pop-Tarts, so I'm going to make that happen.
Awesome. Our hoodie. Thanks for using the code. We're glad everyone can use it. It helps.
It does. So,
Yeah.
let's talk about diodes really quick. So, like, if you do have a bunch of games and you're trying to build up, like, a parts list or something like that, I would recommend definitely buying, like, a big handful of diodes, especially, and I would just recommend getting the 4007 diodes. They are upwards compatible, kind of like a capacitor, right? So, like, we've done that where we've put a 35 volt capacitor in a 25 volt circuit, and that's good. It's got a ceiling. So we have to think about manufacturing, right? Like back in the day when Williams was building a bazillion games, when semiconductors were a little more expensive, right? Things that have a tighter tolerance generally cost more. Back then, it was easier and cheaper for them to get the 4004 diode, which I think is good up to, I don't even remember how many volts it's good up to, but you know, I just think, you know, I only carry around the higher rated diodes because it simplifies my kit, right? I can use those 1000 volt rated diodes in basically any application in pinball, where there are some applications where you would not be able to use a lower voltage diode, where the higher voltage one comes in, you know, handy. I don't know. What I'm saying is if you're buying some parts, just go onto our website and buy a bunch of the 4007 diodes and you'll be very happy. Long story short. I guess, like,
That was a great tip.
well, just when you're thinking about it, like, you know, the engineers that put these things together, it would probably cost them like a penny less to buy, you know, 100 of these whatever diodes. And since that voltage was rated, you know, just fine, there's no reason why it's not, you know, why you shouldn't use that lower rated diode. But there are applications where you might need the higher voltage one, so you could just stock one. Anyways, sorry, that probably made everything a lot more confusing, but.
Hey, I think that's a great idea, guys.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
read it, Midge.
Catch
I'm
it.
gonna write down.
Kaz wants a multimeter DIY tutorial for pinball circuits.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Maybe we could do that now. I mean, actually,
Yeah.
no. Let's think about it later. Let me think on that so I don't.
I wrote it down. That's awesome.
It's in the
Don't
list. Thanks,
half-ass
Kaz.
Yeah, if anyone else has other episode ideas, feel free to post them in the chat and we will write them down. It helps us develop our shows later on.
Yeah, Emoto writes everything down. It's pretty amazing. But there are some things that are so application specific, it's just hard to get to. Like,
Oh yeah, I think Colin said something earlier about the bow and arrow again.
yeah, man, I do
Kyle's
want to work on
avoiding
it.
Bow and arrow like the plague.
I got to look at that game first before we decide to actually work on it because it's very rough, right? And it's like I do have a threshold where it's just like, I don't feel like working on this game, and that game might be, it's on that cusp. It's scary. Someone's done weird stuff to it, right? It was in a house, and instead of like maybe just cutting one of the wires for the chimes out, no, dude just like ripped all the chimes out, and those are nowhere to be seen. There's a lot of like hacked together stuff that I just need to weigh the pros and cons of bringing that game back to life or not. It's in okay shape. It's just there's a few factors that make me go like, we'll see.
Can you, if you're gonna get back up on the pinball machine, can you tilt green cam just to look down at the playfield?
Yeah.
Just so we have that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Also, I've been saying a lot today.
It's a sign of intelligence. It means you're stopping to think about what you're saying. It's true.
But you should just pause and not actually say That's proper on-camera training.
People
Better
who
to
say
just pause.
are more intelligent than people who just pause.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, look it up.
I don't want to.
Look at this chat here.
Okay, then don't.
So,
Are
how about what
modern
if I say
games,
so?
Stern Jersey Jack, more difficult to fix or work on?
That's what I was looking for.
That's yes and no, for different reasons, right? Like, it's a lot harder to work on a newer Stern game, like on the top end, just because they're more complicated compared to this game, right? There's not a bunch of ramps and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, the new Stern games are like built to a much higher and standard than these things ever were, and they're also new. So you're going to have to do a whole lot less work to your Stern game or Jersey Jack game. But like mechanical wise, they're very simple. You know, there is innovation in pinball, but a lot of things like from the flipper to the pop bumper haven't changed in 70 years. So yes and no. There are things that are a little more difficult and not. Jersey Jack games tend to be a lot more cramped. They can be more difficult to service in some aspects. I'm looking at you, Willy Wonka. That thing's a pain in the butt, but it's not impossible. But for basic maintenance, like, my flipper needs to be rebuilt, it's very simple. The nice thing about those electronic systems, too, is a lot of them are just a lot less failure prone. I mean, I guess like I've been working on Spike 2 games now for how long? 2015, 2016, right? When did Batman come out? That was 2015,
17?
right? 17? No, Iron Maiden came out in 2017, I think. Whatever. You don't have any weird, like, random failures. Like, yes, there are failures. Things fail. Electronics fail. Things that get smacked by a steel ball fail. But they're not any harder. And they're new, so you have that thing on your side, right? No brittle plastics, no tons of abuse. Anyways.
So Mark asked, do you sell the pins after you make them beautiful? Well, yeah, sure.
No,
if you see a pinball machine back there that you want to buy, let us know.
I don't sell my games anymore. I've sold a bunch of them, and I regret every single one that I've ever gotten rid of.
2016 for Batman.
2016, okay. Well, yeah, so, I mean, I don't know.
The Led Zeppelin back there is already beautiful. No work needed. Only a few plays on it. It is definitely for sale.
Yes.
So if you're interested, let us know. Let's sell it.
And
swap it
Colin,
out.
I think you'll have to wait for our karaoke special episode upcoming for that. So
Karaoke.
Yell out if you like to gamble.
yeah, it's from Ace of Spades, Motorhead.
Because he's Lemmy. I'd Marco employee pin turning.
So for our very special karaoke episode.
That would be cool. Someone suggested doing a Marco says a Marco employee pinball tournament.
That would be fun. But Mark Friedberg, I don't sell games anymore because I miss them too much. So no, I usually don't. I don't like flipping things.
Yeah.
I like to buy them and keep them and put them on location for people to
Some
enjoy.
people do. But if there's any games at our studio that you'd like to buy, let us know. Those aren't
well, there's
Kyle's
only two that
games.
are for
Some of
sale. I'm
them.
not selling anything else. The only two
With
that are
the
for
right
sale are
price,
Dale Jr.
Kyle
and Led
will sell
Zeppelin.
it. I assure you.
If you offer me a lot of money, I might be willing to sell something, but probably not. But
Yeah,
even when I
Colin
do
really
that,
wants
right?
the EM episode.
With
I
my
know.
hard body, I put a really stupid, dumb price on it. I think I put like $4,200 for a price tag on my hard body at a pinball show, and someone bought it. So, I mean, I guess, yes, I have sold games before, but not anymore. Anyways.
So I just posted a old episode from our archives. All of our shows episodes are archived on YouTube, youtube.com/Marco Pinball. And there is an episode where Kyle goes over his pinball toolbox and basic toolkit that you would need and want when you're doing your own pinball repair. So I saw that in the chat.
Yeah.
Someone asking about what are the basic tools. So check out that episode first. And if you have any more questions, just jump on our Discord. Oh, you see how I did that? And you can ask them there or come back on the show the next week with your questions.
Yeah.
Oh, Ice Skidoo, thanks for the raid.
Hey. Oh, wow.
Cardio 5
Rad.
for Ice Skidoo, please.
I guess, like,
Here's
I
your
would put a
table right up
caveat or a
front.
little note on that. Like, my toolkit is not very basic because there's a lot of stuff in there for doing, like, weird things that you might not ever encounter. I don't remember that episode very well. I think I tried to, like, say what reason I had some of those tools in there for, but, like, if you want the 10-second answer, a good set of nut drivers, a good pair of screwdrivers, a number 1, number 2, maybe a shorty in both of those sizes, a good flathead screwdriver, a decent soldering iron with good solder. Good solder is more important than an expensive soldering iron, and a okay voltmeter. You don't need anything fancy, and that will get you very well on your way.
I'm going to come up real quick, Kyle, back to Dennis's question. He's
Yeah.
saying he's getting a loud pop crack noise when he's turning off his Terminator 2. Any ideas?
Turning it on, most likely.
Turning it off
Off?
when turning off.
Oh. I don't know. It's way more often you'll get that a lot more often on turning it on, and that's usually dried up capacitors on the soundboard. Turning it off, I don't know. I'd have to see it and hear it.
Welcome to the chat, Mr. Valansky. He says,
David.
every time I try to simplify my toolkit, I need the things I took out.
Oh,
We also
yeah.
had
No, I'll
TJ
never
on the show,
simplify
and he
it.
had his pocket toolkit where it was like all the things he really, really needed, he could just fit in his pocket.
DJ's a
The
special
basics.
kind of monster. It's really magical.
And Dennis said, yes, turning off. Fliptronic, yes, links are allowed. Please post
Yeah.
links, and
Yeah, and
Hopefully it's
you're
not
right too.
bad. I trust you.
With the Hacko 301 desoldering iron, that's a really important tool, but I mean that's not like a beginner's tool, right? So. Oh, open
Oh,
that
nice.
up.
Everyone
Yeah,
can-
Jordan got like a friggin' garage sale. Oh my
Lucky.
gosh, that's awesome.
How did they get
Or
into
terrible. Yeah,
his...
how did they get into the
They're
head?
like, oh, I want to put it in his mouth.
Yeah, or like they just happened to fall in there when they got put on its back. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's probably more likely. Good call. Kyle.
That's really funny.
Have you guys seen the quarter shooter?
No,
I
what's
wish I had a
that?
picture of it. So they made this gun. I don't know if it's real, but it looked like an old 70s ad. And it's a gun that shoots quarters, and it was made for like truck drivers going through toll roads where you know how you have to put the quarters in the basket, and they're so high up they can't get down to the basket, so they have this little gun to shoot quarters into the toll basket. And I was thinking maybe we could bring it back and shoot them into the pinball machines.
Oh my God.
Wanna.
Yeah, we'll have all sorts of fun doing that until someone pokes an eye
I want a
out.
quarter shooter. Evil Bong knows.
Oh, Steve, I have terrible news.
What's that?
Friend of the show, Matt Benzik, sent me a box of New Glarus beers.
Beer, you right?
Terrible news. He got an email from UPS that said the package had to be destroyed because I think one of the bottles must have broken, and they found a sock being wet box, and all of our 2 women and Spotted Cow is now most likely not destroyed, but being enjoyed by someone at UPS. So that's
Later,
very
Mr.
disappointing.
Loaf.
So Kyle,
Bye, Ty.
I got distracted with a billion things happening in the chat, but did you think of any ideas of why Dennis's T2 is making noises when turning it off? He confirmed that it only happens when he turns it off.
If it's like just like a loud speaker pop, and if you think it's just if it just sounds like the speaker doing like a boom, it's probably the same thing. Just capacitors on the soundboard need to be redunded. If it's making like a electronic squelching noise, like something the computer's making it do something, then that's, I don't know, that's a problem. But it's really common on the early Williams games and the WPC games and the System 11 games to pop, or you know the knocker will fire or something right when you turn it on.
What's up, family games?
So.
Nice. So we will be doing EM soon, maybe in like a month or so. We are talking about maybe looking at Jack in the Box. We're going to plan that out.
Yeah.
A little bit later.
I think if you're here, David,
EMs.
let's talk about it, because I was thinking of having you come on, David, and be a talking head, and we will address. I know what's wrong with the Jack in the Box, but you have a better way of explaining, or we can explain what's going on. I'd like you to be able to show on the schematic and why this is happening. Pretty simple. It's not adding up 500 points right. So I think it's a motor switch. But let's look at it. It's a simple issue, and you'll be able to do it really easily. So
yes,
if you are
David,
interested,
we'd love to get you on the show to sit next to us here, and that would be awesome. It would be pretty exciting. So
I'm pretty happy with
we'll
this.
Reach out to you privately and ask you officially. Oh, he says he's down. You just need to plan ahead of time.
That's awesome.
So, soft hold for us. May 27th. I may have made a date already for that. So, and then we'll talk. We'll reach out to you. Yeah. Kyle, how long have you been fixing pinball machines?
As long as I've known how to walk. No.
So like 10 years.
Yeah, I got my first pinball game when I was 18, and I'm now 32. So I have been fixing pinball games for that long. How long have 32. I taken it? Like, I mean, I've done it full time since 2014, 15. It's always been a side thing, and then I started taking it very, very seriously, and it turned into my real job. I don't know. So a long time, but it's a passion thing, right? So it's hard to.
Over a decade, right? Can you say? Well over a decade.
I've been fiddling with pinball machines for more than a decade, since 2007. And Jungle Lord interrupts my question.
He wanted some love. Yeah, he was like, "What about me? The show's about me."
That's the thing is, I miss like the first game I ever got was A Creature from the Black Lagoon. I sold it, and so I'll never get another one. I'm not rich. With that being said, I just bought a brand new Deadpool, and that's a really.
Oh yeah! Congratulations! Happy birthday for that.
It's really exciting.
Asked, how was your birthday? Do you want to talk about your birthday?
It was nice because I got to spend it in my garden. tending to my plants, and yeah, and playing Star Sector. That was fun. Yeah, I got to go drive to Georgia. Never been to northern Georgia before, so going to the mountains was really exciting. Yeah, it was good. My wife surprised me. That was fun. But then I got Deadpool, and that's also very fun. I still think that is like the greatest thing Stern has put out in the last 5 years, next to Iron Maiden. I mean, they're all good, but like that game just has something really special going on for it to me. It's hard to there's no formula to create fun, because if fun and perfection was formulaic, then every pinball machine would be amazing. They all are, but like Deadpool just really does it for me. I don't know anything about the comic. I don't know anything about the character. I've never seen a movie. I have no idea what's going on, but it's really good. The whole music package, the artwork, the call-outs, like the things that the ball does, the choreography of the game is just so perfect. So anyways,
I love that game.
very, very much looking forward to getting it out of my living room and putting it in an arcade for people to go enjoy.
Yeah.
Any Cali venues yet? I don't know. What kind of venues are you talking about?
For shows this year.
For shows? Yeah, we're not sure,
Yeah,
but I
everybody's
know
asking
that
about shows.
we are looking forward to like producing some fun sort of like at pinball shows or like in other cities sorts of content, similar to a style that we do now. Just kind of, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be fun. CA shows, though,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think the only show confirmed in California is Pinagogo. I don't think Extreme has said they're going to do it or not. And I know
I might
Golden
be
State.
at Pinagogo just by happenstance. I'll be in that area at that time frame. Patrick, you asked about Pintastic, maybe?
Pinfest. Yes.
Pinfest.
Yeah.
Pinfest. We are not confirmed with Pinfest. There's a lot of shows this year that we will probably be going to, like Kyle said, on where we're walking the show or we're coming to visit the show, but probably not our giant quintessential booths.
Yeah, it's too early to plan that. That takes a lot of logistics and planning, and it takes everything. And it's just there's so much up in the air. It's not worth to spend valuable brain cells.
Yeah,
on
Ohio.
That right
I was putting together all the shows that are happening this year, and Ohio has like 3 or 4 shows. It's crazy.
Huh.
Like
Hey,
that's
can
the place to
you click
be.
on the iSkidoos link there for that speaker pop thing? I guess it might not even be. I mean, I fixed the pop on before with replacing capacitors in the sound sections, but I'll just leave it up. I'd like to read that later. That's interesting. I don't know. Cool.
Same with Pinball Expo in Chicago. In some capacity, we will be there. What that looks like yet, we are not sure. But we're really excited to, go out and play with everyone again. So
Yeah, and just to
It'll
talk
happen.
pinball. That's going to be fun.
Fliptronic will be at Expo. That's awesome.
Oh, good. Well, I'd like to. I met you guys very briefly. Shut up. In Houston a couple of years ago, and that was
I
great.
want the
but
jerky.
I'm excited to hang out with y'all more. No.
I don't
Golden.
think Lodi is having a show.
No, they canceled. They canceled a couple months ago, just because it wasn't, safe yet. So. That's my favorite show. That's my hometown show. I love that show. That and California Extreme. I cannot get enough of ever. So.
Yeah, they're great shows. Great shows.
I'm gonna test the drop targets, but turn the volume down. So.
Yeah, Pinball Expo should be a good show. It's on Halloween weekend. So yay or boo, depending on what your Halloween plans usually are.
Expo's on Halloween weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, that should be nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a
Won't be
pinball
going trick or
costume
treating
contest.
this year. Yeah, they should do a costume contest. Allentown in July. We want to go to Allentown. That's about it. That's all we got for you. We want to be there. We'll probably be there.
That is the nuttiest show, man. It really
Will we
is.
bring thousands of parts. Probably not. This year's gonna be hard.
That's the show you don't even have time to breathe at if you're working. It's just shut up and give me your money. Or take my money.
I would love to go to Allentown just to go shopping for cool stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. You can buy all kinds of crazy things there that you'd never see anywhere else.
Yeah, if anyone likes thrifting, this is like the ultimate swap meet, pinball swap meet. So
that's like the only reason I go to pinball shows anymore.
Do they have more than pinball in the swap meet?
Yeah,
is it like arcade, PCBs and stuff too?
You don't see a lot of arcade. You see a lot of like older arcade machines, but nothing video. Like a lot, there's a lot of like pachinko and weird stuff like that too.
Oh, cool.
But
what is a inrush? In English, it's called an inrush current limiter. Vandergooten's looking for something on our website.
I don't know. Inrush current limiter.
NTC. What is NTC, Kyle?
I don't know what that abbreviation means, but I know it's something to do with electronics.
No.
Pinball swap meet in Frisco. How long does it take to get to Frisco?
Oh, I love Frisco. Frisco is where Texas Pinball Festival is held.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you as long as it has to, depending on where you're coming from.
It took me a long time to drive through Texas.
Yep. It's like 20 minutes north of Dallas. It's easy. It's nice. It's a nice place.
I could use some more Texas time. I miss being in Austin. I'm excited to go visit all my friends in Austin again, too.
Yeah, I guess we can't go to Austin without bringing a buttload of koozies.
That's right.
I didn't realize
the NTC looks like a varistor, but it says it's a thermistor.
Thermistor. So I think a thermistor works on thermal property instead of like current property. So I think what's inside of these magnets is a thermistor. If they start to get too hot, there's a device inside the magnet which will snap to keep the magnet from melting or catching on fire. And there's something similar like in your pinball game called a varistor. That's kind of like a sacrificial fuse, even though there is a line fuse in the game. So yeah, they can break. I mean, I've had that problem before. I think I was working on a dude brought me a Defender. When's the last time you saw a Williams Defender pinball game? And he's like, oh, I've had it forever, and I plugged it in and made a bunch of smoke and nothing happened. And I was like, huh. It ended up being just the varistor just blew up because it was old, and that happens.
Yeah, we've got them, so I'll post the link in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Defender has the cool back glass.
Yeah, Defender's like weird.
Isn't it an arcade game, too?
Yeah, well, Defender is a classic video game, but they...
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, there's a pinball version?
Yeah, I think they only made, 3 digits of that game. It was very low production. It was during the dead years of pinball, like 83, 84. It's unique because it does have like drop targets that just like come out of the middle of the playfield, just like singular drop targets. It's a neat game. Yeah.
The Wisp says WPC resets can be due to the thermistor being out of spec, but not fully open.
Yep. Yeah, you can't just assume when your WPC game is resetting that it's like, oh, I got to replace the capacitors and the bridge rectifiers because that's what Pinside says. There's a lot of stuff you got to go back to check. I've had WPC resets just be caused by like worn out pins on the transformer.
Midge found it.
I think the other thing too, it's like in that case, right? If you did have like a thermistor out of spec, or you had a overheated and nasty what's it called? Transformer plug in the bottom. Even with that cool little reset board that we have, that can make that not work as well. So the reset board will fix like 90% of your problems with resetting WPC games, but there are situations where it won't work. So anyways, food for thought. I'd like to have a game that had WPC reset issues and we could like address them one at a time. The last one I always do is the friggin' capacitors and bridge rectifiers.
I'll post that link. There's the reset board for WPC. Oh, it's on the front page of our website this week.
It's so clever. It's really a wonderful thing. But again, there are things that can trump that as a potential fix. So, yeah, I haven't had to fix one of those in a really long time. Well, maybe it's because I don't work on pinball machines anymore, except for Tuesdays between 3 to 5. But
DeWisp says, "I wish I was closer. You could use my Bally HD."
Oh, I wish you were closer too, because Bally Harley Davidson is an awesome
Harley
game.
Davidson. Oh, is that where the what is it called? The butt plug bumper thing that comes up. You hit the button and it comes up and it saves your ball from draining.
There is
I know
one
there's
of
a
those.
what is the term called?
A butt plug.
It starts with a B.
Yes.
It starts with a B.
A ball
maybe.
save post? I don't know. It's neat. Harley Davidson's a cool game.
I like that.
There's
Shrek
two
has it
things
too.
in pinball where I'll judge them to see if they're good games or not.
That's a different podcast. You want to? Oh, that was yeah.
This game is weird because it doesn't have any pop bumpers, and pinball without pop bumpers is really odd to me. But there's another weird thing about Harley Davidson is that game is totally symmetrical. And a lot of times, totally symmetrical games especially more modern totally symmetrical games aren't super duper fun, but Harley's a good one.
No, yeah, see, I'm with Rhett. I was thinking I thought it was a Stern Harley Davidson.
No, very.
No, there's the Sega and the Stern one, and then there's the Bally one. The Bally one's older.
Yeah, it's a Barry Ausler game,
So the Bally one doesn't have that. It's the Stern one where it has the actual Harley Davidson mini motorcycle, and then you hit underneath it to start your tour.
And it has the video mode where you run over the pedestrians.
The video mode. I love that video mode.
I thought that the Bally one did have that ball save post between the flippers, though. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it. There's only 3 games that use that display. Also, I think. No. There's only one game that uses that display. Technically,
no post.
Yeah, it's just Harley Davidson.
No butt post. Okay. I'm gonna look it up.
Funhouse uses the display one on top of another, but Harley Davidson was one of the last Bally cabinets before Williams decided yeah, this is dumb. We don't need to be making 2 different cabinets. We're just gonna make everything look the same. But I think it's Dr. Dude. No. I've only seen one WPC Dr. Dude before, but I think Harley Davidson technically has a unique display.
Hey, DeWisp, he didn't go to 8 years of Dude medical school to be called Mister.
Yeah. That dude's seen it all, man.
Dr. Dude. He's so cool.
I love that game. I think the only differences between the Stern and Sega Harley Davidsons is the toy too, right? There's the biggest difference between them is
that toy is awesome.
The motorcycle. I think they changed the
808
model.
said his Theater of Magic had a pop-up ball save.
Oh, neat. Well, I know that on some British games would have outlane ball save posts that you could control. That's pretty cool.
Hey, what's up, Tracy? Thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Tracy, join our Discord server.
Discord
server.
We're turning into real streamers now.
I will post it. Oh, yeah.
We've got a stream. We've got a Discord.
We're trying, y'all. It's hard. Join
Thanks.
our
This
Discord
is my new proudest piece of clothing I own. They're actually opening. They're opening a Buc-ee's in Florence.
Drago, join our Discord server. Oh, look, I even spelled it wrong. Discord? No, I spelled it right. Drago spelled it wrong. We're the same person anyway. So the middle.
Oh, man.
Anything is better than the middle drain save on Fireball. Is that what they're called? Drain saves?
Fireball?
Pop-up ball saves. I feel like there's a very specific term for that thing.
Well, they've done really cool versions of it, right? On
It's
Medusa,
okay, I can't even.
on Medusa and on Fireball 2, they had a kicking post that you could control, so you could earn credits, and then when the ball would come down, you could hit it just the right time to knock it back into play. I forgot, what do they call it on Medusa, Steve? Do you remember? I know on Fireball 2 it's called the Little Demon.
I cannot remember what it's called on Medusa. I mean, I always just call it a ball saver, but
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Okay, I made a Pinball Pets channel on our Discord so everyone can post their animals. That is probably the best idea of the day.
Silverball Mania had the
So
coolest
excited.
one, right? The one that would like pop up and then grab the ball, and then it would like kick it back out. Or am I tripping? No, I think it did. Anyways, I think these drop targets are going to be happier now. I want to test them.
Look at that fat black kitty.
Hey, no posting
Oh,
cats
man.
until I get there. Come on.
Oh man, I'm gonna love this channel.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
great
flood
thing
it
about
with photos of
Discord,
Mookie.
man.
That's amazing. I love Discord. We actually started this Discord about a year ago, and I don't want to say we forgot about it, but
But we
we
forgot.
got busy with other things. We were too busy learning from Kyle in real time.
Yeah. Learning.
Learning. All right, so Kyle, what are you doing? You said you had to do something with magnets today on Jungle Lord.
Yeah, so the right side magnet wasn't working. It was just a flipper, or the switch was closed. I'm just testing the drop targets to see if they all fall nicely. The upper targets
cool.
were adjusted a little too far out. I'll show you what I mean. That one kind of sucks. I'll have to look at that one. That one's not doing anything. It's not falling enough. We're actually not getting the switch closure, I don't think. Whatever. Let me show you what I was messing with really quick. Let me also tilt the game out. So these targets, do I have one with it on still?
Oh, you are wearing your Marco shirt. Because I couldn't tell because it was just shoulders up, and then when you lean back, I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
It's got forest texture.
it's the
Because it's the green.
the OG Dirty
The
Donnie. one that we
OG
got.
Dirty Donnie one. Yeah.
Little Devil on all games. Hell yeah.
That was my first Marco shirt ever.
Nice.
So
Nice.
put
Before
on the
this,
small cam, will
it
you,
was
really
basically
quick?
just the logo, and we had like one shirt that had a design that wasn't just the logo.
Yeah. I love that shirt. I still have it somewhere. It's
I think I have like 3.
nice. I have a lot of the snake ones. I like this Dirty
I like
Donnie
the snake one.
Oh my
Snake is cool.
gosh.
Can you put the small camera on really quick?
Spacey Tracy. Dang, I need to get more photos of Mookie next to the pinball machines. He's gonna do a photo shoot next week.
At least
Yes.
81 catalog
do
calls it
whatever
a
you
kicker
want.
post. Huh. We're working on getting that thing 3D printed. I'm going to test it and see if it's strong enough to hold up, because that injection molded piece is like mega NLA. So what's wrong with these targets is I've got the this dude adjusts tension against, if you guys remember at all, there's 2 like metal rods that go against the back of the drop target. So one of them limits its downward travel, and then the other one, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. What it is, though, is this provides tension against that that frame just a little bit. So having it bent out way too far will cause this to not want to separate and fall, right? It sits on a ledge and it gets pushed away and then drops down. So these things were adjusted way too far out. Also clean them, wipe them off with some Novus on a cloth, and get the gunk off, and that'll help them be a little slipperier. But again, yeah, these were just adjusted too far out and was causing too much tension, and it wouldn't drop.
Oh. So that's a pretty easy fix, right?
Yeah, well, depending on where the drop targets are. If they're way out in the back of the game, they're kind of difficult to service. But I think
Sure.
what we learned was like everything on this game works. It's just a matter now of getting the plastics back on it, and we will be able to stream it at some point. Can you put the handheld camera on? I just want to show the one last thing we were kind of working on or waiting on to make this game super playable. Okay, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. I was just then you. get your
These
shit
lane
done.
guides,
Oh, right.
remember?
The lane guides were messed up.
They're super screwed up. Can you see Can you see the lip on this lane guide here? Do you see how it's like curled up? It all.
Not really.
Oh, yes, you can see a ledge. You can see
Okay. Yeah.
like a sharp ledge.
Yeah, so that's
And it
what
kinda,
happens
like,
when pinball's
pushed up there.
slamming up against it for 40 years, and they deform. And honestly, they were kind of underformed. So Cliff at Passion for Pinball, the man behind the Cliffy Protector stuff, he redesigned these things to have these little spurs come out a little bit further, and that allows a much smoother transition between the ball frame and the flipper, right? When this thing's hauling ass flying down here, it's gonna hit the base of the flipper like this and then bounce, and that sucks. It's impossible to line up a shot when the thing, that was nice, but when it's coming fast, it'll come and bounce and pop up. This side was especially bad. It's all loose also, so I'm probably gonna need to fill these holes, but that is like, this stuff bothers the heck out of me when you're playing a game. If this isn't like a ultra smooth transition, it just sucks to play. So I'm gonna get these things
Yeah, it
replaced.
pops up. Nice.
And that's it. And then it's done. Then we can play Jungle Lord. And then I need to find a back glass because this one's missing most of its paint. So yeah. Exciting.
Oh no, Tracy, you got rid of your Grand Lizard. I love Grand Lizard. I would have bought it from you.
That's a
What
terrible
a great game.
mistake. I love Grand Lizard. That's a great game. So I guess like
Ice Skidoo. I agree with Ice Skidoo.
I just got my Jelly Bellies in the mail today from Amazon. Buttered popcorn flavored jelly beans are the best. Jelly beans in the bag, period. Wait, so should we put jelly beans in with our orders?
Everybody likes candy.
Oh yeah,
I don't see why not.
Jelly. So here's a fun fact. Before I moved here, I used to live like 20 minutes away from the Jelly Belly factory.
Wow. Could you smell the jelly beans cooking?
If I drove next to it, yes.
But for real, you could smell something?
Did it smell wonderful?
No, it just kind of smelled like burnt sugar.
Oh.
And then there's a Budweiser
could be
factory
kinda
right
good.
next to it. It's fun. You can take tours. They have Jelly Belly portraits of famous people. My favorite is the John Wayne or the Ronald Reagan Jelly Belly portrait.
Well,
Kinda
Ronald
ridiculous.
Reagan was famous for liking jelly beans, right? That was his jam.
Oh, like they made his face out of the jelly beans?
Yeah, no, they're super funny. You could probably look at it or look for them on the internet. I'm going to agree that the buttered popcorn Jelly Bellies, though, are quite good,
Tracy.
but I still really like the fruit ones. I really like the juicy pear and the kiwi. Those
I
are
miss the
my two favorites.
jalapeno ones. The jalapeno ones were awesome.
Those are good.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys ever eat the Harry Potter ones?
No, that's disgusting.
The gross ones? Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, only if you think boogers are gross.
Oh my god.
Or what are the other smelly socks are gross.
Ooh, Tracy's,
Mixing the flavors, yeah.
Tracy's saying
Tracy's
Jelly
right
Belly
too.
mixology.
You can have
yeah.
Dang, that's
booger
exciting.
pina colada,
Little jelly belly cocktails. Yeah.
popcorn
That's hella funny.
poop.
Popcorn.
Did we get our free shipping 99 code for next week or what? Yeah.
Oh, jelly beans? I think we're just switching to candy.
I do agree with Daniel. Haribo does
I
probably
don't-
make my favorite other candies.
I don't think I've ever had. Do Haribos make jelly beans or just gummy stuff, right?
I don't think they make jelly beans, and maybe they do.
Everyone
but
makes jelly beans.
yeah, seriously,
No, I don't know. That's not true.
The Haribo commercials are awesome.
they're funny.
The little song.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, they make jelly beans.
The one
I
thing
never
I
knew
didn't
that.
do on this.
I think they make a pinball too, a pinball candy that's called pinball.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Huh. We might need to get some of those if you want to send us a package from Croatia, Daniel.
Oh, they're like little gumballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've had them before. Chew's so good, they got their own bag. Zingly, tingly, center.
Yum.
I want some.
So, let's talk about some other show ideas. Actually, no, hold on. let's talk about why this is very wrong before we talk about other show ideas really quick. Small camera, please. We're taking apart the shooter rod. This is something I want everyone to like remember. It had a shooter tip, it had a E-clip, and then it had a spring. And the next thing here was the butt of the sleeve. I'm gonna try to pop it out really quick. This is wrong, the way that this is ordered. There's supposed to be 2 washers on this rod, and one of them is in the right place. The other washer was supposed to go right here between the spring and the shooter sleeve. It can cause the flange to break, and that's why when you're playing an old game and you pull the shooter back and like the sleeve kind of comes out with it, that's generally the reason why. So I'm going to get some parts to replace and fix.
Do you want to put a green cam over it so we can watch you do that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Me too.
Cool, man. So yeah. So what were you, Emoto? Let's talk about other show ideas, like what we should do to maybe expand.
Bow and arrow. That's the only other show idea.
Hey, Kyle, you're missing all the German conversation in the chat.
I can't speak German. I can read some
we're talking
German.
about Kinder Joys? Oh no.
I don't know what Fra means, Fro, but it's Haribo makes kids something. I don't know what the last word is. My German is terrible.
Where are my parts? Oh, here we go. Washer. I'm running low on washers.
That's what
terrible.
I figured it was, Vandergugden. Yeah, happy. Okay, cool.
Which one? What word is Fra? Oh, Fra.
Need a new shooter
Our
spring.
hoodie wants to learn how to replace the shooter, so this is great. Awesome. We have another episode where we just did a shooter rod install.
Yeah, let's do it here too, because
Let me
it's
check
universal.
my show notes.
Wait, what did we tell? RBO macht Kinder froh. Oh yeah, it makes kids happy. And I want to go back to Germany so bad. I want to immigrate to Germany. Okay, the proper
What show?
the proper way this goes together, starting with it completely disassembled. Is this gross? No, this is fine. We will start with the shooter sleeve. In my parts box, a fun tip, you can actually stick the shooter sleeves inside of regular coil sleeves, like ones that would fit for a flipper, and it takes up less room. The flange faces the back of the game. Put that in. Got a shooter rod? You've got a shooter rod? Where's the camera? There it is.
Hold on. Let me flop this camera, because I think maybe it's disorienting like this.
Yeah, I've got it kind of cattywampus. I could move the camera too.
Oh. Or get closer.
Yeah, hold on. Let's do this. This is actually good for the people that are still in here. And
Should I
VOD.
rotate it?
Since
It
we're
feels
like
it's
proper
upside down.
streamers now, we can clip this and put it in our Discord. We can all
Oh,
start
really?
talking like this.
Is that what we're supposed to do? Dang.
Gotta change our voices, man. Okay, check it out. Shooter rod. Barrel spring. The reason
Yay,
I'm doing
Crafty
this
Vampire. That's awesome.
because
Don't forget
this-
to use our free shipping 99 code if you're domestic. Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, PT Pop-Tart. Anyways, this thing sucked. It's super ugly. It's also very small. It's been compressed by just a teeny amount. And like if the first interaction you have with the pinball machine sucks, then the whole experience is going to suck. And when you have a super flat barrel spring and you pull the shooter rod back and you're like, I'm going to play pinball, and you hear it just go like thwack. It sucks. It's not supposed to sound like that. So I hate it. We're going to get rid of that. You get a new barrel spring. You get a new washer. I'm going to use this one. And this is how it goes into the game.
Wait, show us again. So it's the barrel spring, then the washer. Okay.
Now this goes into
Then
the
into
game.
the game. Okay.
And now, right, we've got the washer on one side of the sleeve. They don't touch, but this is the way you got to think about it. The other washer goes on the back side and protects the flange of the shooter sleeve.
Okay.
Then you get your shooty sprang. You put your shooty sprang on, compress it, hold it in place. If you've got calloused thumbs, you can kind of push these on with your fingers, but then you get your E-clip.
This is the hard part. Yeah.
And snap it on. And if it doesn't work, maybe I'm getting all soft typing on computers all day.
If I can't use my calloused thumbs, what's a good way to get that E-clip on?
Well,
sorry, I was just entranced by the process.
Oh, because is Mitch moving? Oh, were you just like frozen in time?
I was just staring. I was like, oh yeah, cool.
If you don't have callous thumbs or you work on a computer all day like I do now, kind of get it on the shooter rod and get like the opening facing down, right? Let gravity hold it in place for you.
Okay.
The easiest way to do this is to grab like some pliers. I'm just going to grab these needle noses and I'm going to try to get it to snap onto the shooter rod.
Okay.
You could also use a calloused thumb substitute in the form of like a screwdriver and hold like your screwdriver like this and try to push it down. But if you get it all lined up and it's straight, using a pair of pliers is very easy to help it just go snap, and then you're good.
Nice.
And now I need to go and find a shooter tip, and maybe I'll use this sweet assorted rubber pack.
Do you want to get closer real quick and show that?
Yeah.
Or, he's like, no.
This is the
We'll
least
do it
exciting
anyway.
part. I
Ice
usually
that's a
like to
great
use
tip,
black
too.
shooter tips everywhere because the black rubber seems to hold up a lot longer than the white
that's
rubber
great.
does, but whatever. It's being picky. This is not a location game anyways.
Let's get in. I guess I could zoom in on my end too. Let's see.
There's some sweet, sweet rubber tippage. Oh, well, let's talk before we put it on too. If this thing ever goes missing, that's awful, and you'll have a super mushroomed out shooter tip. That sucks. They're very difficult to get off.
No, thank you.
Dremel can help. A grinder can help, or some bolt cutters will also do the job. You have to file it back down to be able to get it out through the housing. That's why it's very important to have a shooter tip on this at all times. And you will hear it also. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. It sounds right. Can you hear that? Can you hear the... That's what it's supposed to sound
Yeah,
like.
we could use that as Foley for something.
Yeah.
So it goes shooter rubber tip, E-clip, tension spring, washer, and then on the other side.
Well, you got it. Oh, look, I
You
broke
missed a
it.
step.
Oh,
It's been fatigued too much. I will
Sleeve?
replace it now.
shooter rod sleeve. All shooter rods have that sleeve.
No, only Williams ones did.
Okay.
Gottlieb ones usually went
I was
into
like,
like
I
a
didn't think my
nylon
Bally one did.
bushing.
Yeah.
Bally games also had like an internal bushing, or maybe I think it was oilite, like oil impregnated bronze or something.
That's what Stern uses, right? Or those oilite bushings.
Yes, Stern also
Right,
does
yeah.
that nowadays, so there's no need for a bushing. But any Williams game from forever, including Jersey Jack games, will use this sleeve.
That is a great onomatopoeia, Evil Bong. That's perfect.
What?
Tuka, tuka,
my
tuka, 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 tuka.
Is that the sound of a plunger?
That's the sound of pulling back on the shooter rod. Tuka, tuka, tuka.
Wow.
Thank you for putting that in there. That's great.
I think they use that sound in Ace Ventura Pet Detective too a lot in transitions. It goes.
My spring section is crazy.
So is it would I be kicked out of the pinball community if I got the one ring shooter rod for Lord of the Rings and put it on my hard body?
No, that'd be
Nope.
awesome. It's
Because
your
I
machine.
really
You can do what you
love
want.
that shooter
Yeah,
rod.
exactly,
Will it
dude.
fit?
Yeah. Well,
No, I think it might
It'll
actually
fit
be
in
too
the hole.
short.
it'll fit in the hole.
Yeah. It'll fit, but it might not do anything. I think it actually might be too short, Emoto. I think the Bally ones are a little longer than the Stern ones are.
That's what I was scared of.
We can measure though. Oh, sorry, you have to look at my arm.
All right.
So anyways, yeah.
So the order, again,
The order is shooter rod,
shooter rod,
spring, barrel spring,
barrel spring,
Yeah, the stern one is
Washer.
a quarter inch longer than the Bally one.
washer,
washer,
sleeve,
sleeve with the flange facing away from the knob, washer,
flange away from the knob, washer,
spring,
tension string,
E-clip,
E-clip,
and then the little bumper
rubber tip.
rubber.
Nice.
So there you go. We
That's
did learn
awesome.
something today. What time is it?
Yay.
4:30.
I'm
Okay,
gonna do that too.
so let's talk about other things, right?
Kyle.
We
yeah,
do need
let's
to talk about
other
this.
things, Kyle.
What else would people want to see, right? Like, I can talk about fixing pinball all day.
Bow and arrow.
I could no, not about
That's
that
the
kind of stuff.
consensus, man.
Other formats. Do you want to go take a field trip to bow and arrow? I think it's scary, man.
Yeah. Kind
Oh wait,
of.
Daniel says water damage in the past. I don't know. Probably just a lot of soda and beer spilled in there over the last 40 years.
They should have had a koozie.
That's right.
No, koozies don't help that, right? Yeah, see, Colin knows. Bow and arrow.
It's so gross.
So end of May, we're going to have David Valansky jump on, and we're going to probably look at Jack in the Box, but kind of go over some general EM stuff with that. There's some specific lessons involved in Jack in the Box, right, Kyle?
Well, I know what the problem is, and David will help us
What's up,
pinpoint it
Phil?
and show it on the schematic. I feel like if we just started working on bow and arrow, which is a gross game, but like, I'm not sure how I could effectively teach it because I know what to do and I can tell you what to do, but I feel like with electromechanical games in specific, you need to be able to find where a problem might be on the schematic to pinpoint you in the right direction because there are so many wires and so many relays and so many switches. If you just try the shotgun method, it might work, but it's good to know to be able to articulate these things. So I think that's why it would be very helpful to have David.
Colin, you got to get on Discord, and then he'll do it on Discord.
I'll do a Zoom
And
with
then you
We
can send
look at it.
pictures, and we can watch. So I was thinking, like, if we did, everyone was helping each other with pinball repair on it, you could send pictures, people can respond, and then everyone can kind of learn from those lessons, too. Is Pinside back up? Not that we're trying to replace Pinside or anything like that, but... Tracy said, one thing that I'm scared about with tech is not what I need to do to the repair, but the things that are important to avoid.
Yeah,
Looks like-
so
looks
a
like
lot
he's
of that
waiting on a new
definitely comes
server.
from experience and also inconveniencing yourself by doing things wrong or breaking things. But Tracy, I would say,
All the things not to do. Don't work on your pinball machine with the game turned on.
yes, 99% of the time that is absolutely the best advice.
Stand in water when you turn on your game.
You know,
That'd be terrible.
update Tim Arnold's things not to do to a pinball.
I don't know
he
if I'm
has that. He has that list.
don't share it
Let's
though.
find it.
Yeah, don't share
Don't
it. It's
share
not
it.
100%
Oh, really?
accurate
It's
in
not
my
good?
opinion. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's our Discord server, though.
I think
Phil
Tracy
and
though,
whoever else
like
wants to
things that
join.
you should definitely do if you're gonna tackle something, it's like, and again, this does come from experience as well, but
It's my dog. I'm
don't try
sorry.
to rush things first off, right? Like that doesn't come from experience. Just don't try to rush things. If it's gonna take you 3 days to do something, if that's like the level you need to do it at, then don't feel bad. Don't try to do things the fast way. If you see like, oh, maybe if I just bend this way, I can get to it. As we break stuff, right? So definitely, take your time. I think that's the best thing. I don't disagree with Van der Gugten with like definitely reading and watching people do things. That's how I learned how to do most everything, was just being around people who are way smarter than I am and absorbing it via osmosis. But
I learned it all on PinTech Live.
I think the one thing
And fun
is
with
like,
pinball EM schematics class.
instead of like being afraid
repair
or
clinic.
like what not to do, I think what you need to do is like to not be afraid to just do it, right? To get in there with some confidence and try. And if you feel like you've hit a roadblock, there's so many people, including me, who would be very, very glad to help you fix things.
Oh, another good not to do is that they're always saying is don't practice soldering on your pinball machine parts.
Yeah.
So, like if you're unsure about, especially like soldering on boards, practice off your game.
Don't, especially not on circuit boards, like don't do that if you have any apprehension. But if you're talking about like, oh, I need to solder a new coil in or something like that, you know, take your old one out and then practice soldering on your old coil before you try to like officially do it on your new one, right? Little things like that definitely are helpful.
My coil connectors are kind of burnt on hard body because I may have not taken that advice earlier. This was long before we started PinTech Live. It's like 3 years ago.
It's okay. Hey, as long as it works,
melted
right?
the plastic around it, and you know. Hey, this is a really good question from our hoodie about the shooter rod.
Yeah.
He goes, for the shooter rod, does it matter green spring, orange spring?
Yes.
You know that set of different tensions? Can
They're
you talk
all
about
different
that?
tensions. So if you feel like you don't have the right shooter spring in your game, check your manual first off. And if the manual says like you need this spring, which ends up being red, and that's the one you have in it, there could be other factors keeping the ball from launching, right? Like let's take a complicated game like roller games, right? Roller games has a very stiff spring, and when you shoot the ball, it's supposed to come out, around, and up a ramp.
Oh my god!
If you have the correct spring in there, if it's put together correctly, there could be other forces at play, keeping the ball from making a clean shot. Maybe the ball guide, where it's which camera's on that one, where it curves in to shoot the ball around. Maybe that's loose, right? Maybe you need to readjust it to get it so the ball's energy isn't lost as the ball rides that rail. Maybe the ramp is sticking up a little bit. Maybe your ball flap is all cattywampus and it needs to be replaced or something like that. Because there's many things. I guess what I'd recommend, like what I'm getting at, is don't overspring your game just because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Don't go throw like the highest tension spring into a game that doesn't need it. You could break shit.
Yeah, and if you're not sure which spring to get, we have our spring assortment kit in stock
Back in stock. What?
I'm so excited for this because I really want to get it too, and I will probably be ordering it today.
Even if you don't need it, just get it because there's a high chance that your game has the wrong spring in it, right? So having a good assortment of springs is handy to have around.
The assortment, it's $6. You get 1, 2, 3, 6 different springs to test the tension. I just really want to see like which spring is going to be the best for me.
You got to get the right one.
We were going to do a spring sale for spring. It transformed a little bit. We did our spring sale already. It didn't have the springs in it.
Daniel did say something important
but now
though.
They're here.
Like that's it. Another factor of what I was trying to explain is also
use the free shipping code.
Getting the shooter rod centered on the ball, right? Like while it sits in the lane, there's adjustment. There's movement in the shooter housing, and you could have the shooter rod. You know, if we're talking like left and right here, it could be up and to the right, right? You really want to try to adjust the shooter rod to hit that ball square on and not somewhere strange. So again, in a game like roller games, if you had your shooter rod housing set like really crappy and it never makes it, well, there you go. That's the problem. You wouldn't need to overspring it or something like that. You really want to make sure it's hitting the center of the ball.
There was an episode where you showed how to adjust that too, right?
Yeah, I think we did it on my Twilight Zone a long time ago. We like took it off and then put it back on to show that there is movement. So, yeah.
So like if I was to adjust the rod on Jungle Lord, how would I do that?
Same thing as we would on Twilight Zone. There's 3 screws on the back, and you can move it left, right, up, and down.
Adjust the shooter housing.
The thing is with these old games, it's not as important because the ball doesn't usually have to do anything crazy. But on some games, the ball immediately, leaves the shooter lane and goes up a ramp, and that's that can be a little problematic. But that's like different compared to like a game like Iron Maiden, the new one. that like has notorious problems with the ball not leaving the shooter lane right and going around that orbit and like hitting a target or something like that. That's generally a ball guide that takes some adjustment, right? Where the ball goes out of the shooter lane and rides against a ball guide, and they are adjustable, but within like 1 or 2 degrees, and you could loosen a screw, reposition it, and then tighten it down. There's an art to adjusting these things. So.
And check for a bent shooter rod too. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you never know what dummy decides to lift it from the shooter rod or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Some people do pick them up by the shooter. I have a big old stack of those Stern do not pick up game by shooter rod things. I love those. They're so funny. Anyways, yeah.
And then, yeah, our hoodie, the shooter rod for Sopranos.
The shooter rod? I think that's just a
spring.
standard Stern shooter rod.
It is. I think it uses a green spring Sopranos.
Hey, here's a good thing. Get your manual and get comfortable looking in the manual to find these parts.
Before trusting me. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody in here that has a pinball machine needs a manual for the game that they have, or all the games they
Here's
have.
a link to that if you didn't find it already. This is the entire shooter assembly, and it comes with a green spring. Wait, so that spring assortment kit I can put on any shooter rod?
Yeah.
It's not manufacturer specific?
The tensions are, but you may find one in a Williams, set like that one that works perfectly for you.
But I wouldn't have to worry about like it being too small to fit over the shooter rod.
No, they're going to have the same inner diameter.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I can make it my own tension.
I guess like some old games had some weird size springs, but that doesn't apply to, most of what we're talking about. But yeah, springs. There's a lot to pinball. There's a lot of weird things you have to adjust to get things just right. And that's the thing. It's like
I'm excited.
There's one thing to fix a game, but then there's one thing to really tune a game in to play well, right? My friend TJ gave me a really, really, really good tip on Deadpool to loosen the ball guide behind the little Deadpool, right? So if you're familiar with that game, there's a shot that goes behind little Deadpool, has little drop targets, and it's an elegant shot where you hit it and the ball curves around and then goes up a ramp and then comes back around the game. It's crazy, but it's a difficult shot to make. TJ told me this worked really well for me. Loosen the nuts that hold that ball guide on by 1 turn each. And by loosening them a little bit, allows that ball guide to move just a teeny bit. And I have nailed that lock shot the long way so many times now. If you have a Deadpool, loosen that ball guide by 1 turn, just a teeny bit. It makes a big difference.
Oh, I just learned the MXV skill shot on Deadpool last night.
I haven't gotten it yet.
Do you know what it is?
You long plunge the ball, right? So hold the left flipper up, hit the button, have it come around, then you hit the right orbit and then the lock shot, right?
Yeah, you hit the snicket stand-up target, and then it has to hit the snicket stand-up target and go up that ramp.
Oh.
And then once it goes up that, if it just hits the snicket target, then nothing happens. But if it's the snicket target, ricochet up to the samurai sword ramp, the lock ball ramp, then you get the 30,000 MVX super skill shot.
I thought that it was.
Is it Rudy or our hoodie? I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. You're welcome, Rudy.
Oh, I've been saying our hoodie. Yeah, how do we pronounce your name? Is there a cheat sheet on tuning a pin? Asks Marky Harris.
No. You gotta get in tune with your game and mess with it. To figure out what works well on your game.
Snicked.
It could be all in my head, but I swear, man, I think that really helps.
I said snicket, lemony snicket shot.
Deadpool is a notoriously difficult game to set up because
you can't really see it on
needs to be set up super steep or some of those
so you
shots
can actually
don't work
make it into that samurai sword. Did yours come with a samurai sword?
Though. Yeah, the katana.
It did? Like a one inside of the pinball machine?
Wait, what'd you say?
Not on the playfield, but like a real one.
Like, did you open up the coin door and there was like
Like, didn't they
full set
put
of
like
the three?
actual? They put like actual, like some of the Deadpools came with like a signed katana.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
that's when the game came out, not the. We're still making this game
Our
4 years
hoodie.
from
Oh
now.
my
game.
gosh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, same here.
Our hoodie,
Yep,
I was-
apologies. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. Our hoodie is the right thing to say
Yay!
for her name. So awesome.
See, I got it right.
You did. You're so smart.
Our hoodie. Well, thanks for joining us.
I'd like to see an episode
awesome.
on basic troubleshooting, common problems, where to look. Yeah, I think if you have a lot of time, you could go back and watch 49 episodes of PinTech, and there's definitely a lot of common issues through here. I'm excited. You know what? I think the next 2 episodes actually will be pretty good. We're going to finish working on that Indy 500 that I've been working on for like 8 months now. And we've done a lot of work to it, but we haven't tuned in anything. We haven't like actually fixed anything. We have just torn it down and replaced all the broken nasty. So there will be some more troubleshooting on that. But I know that this format is difficult because you do have to like sit down and watch the whole thing unless we start putting timestamps on things again. So if any of you want to watch PinTech and give us
Tracy,
timestamps, please
I'm
do.
right there with you.
I'll give you the biggest high five and like a hug, and I'll buy you all sorts of beer and whatever you need.
Yeah, Tracy, tech is so overwhelming, but when you do something right, it's like the most satisfying feeling. And just by working on this show for the past year, you know, I'm not hands-on as much, but I'm learning a lot of pinball tech theory. And so now, you know, my dad will call and say something's wrong with his Stranger Things, and I can be like, oh, well, yeah, the wire gate does this and this, and you need this tool to go fix that. And then he fixes it, and he's like, yay, it works again. And it's a great feeling. So keep it up. You can do it.
Yeah, it's very
Pinbox
rewarding.
3K. Those are fun to fix too.
What a great product. Those are awesome.
Colin asked, what did I post about some saves on Facebook?
Oh, the flex saves.
Oh,
Oh,
the best thing ever. Flex saves rule.
Obviously, flex saves are, what did I post? Are the most innovative
Immaculate, innovative
next
invention
in pinball
ever.
history.
Yeah.
I'll stand by it. So flex saves are
Here, put
the
on the Sony
inlane
cam in like 30
ball
seconds.
save protectors.
Kyle's going to demonstrate.
Oh god,
No, we'll just look
hold on, he's breaking the fourth wall.
a little bit. Okay.
Turn the cam off. Turn it off. Oh,
It's-
no. No.
Oh, I did.
Woo.
I did.
That was close.
Yeah, we almost saw our
It's
dungeon.
okay. Everyone can see. We have no secrets here, right?
So flex saves, you can find them on Hardbody or BMX. Dungeons and Dragons also have flex saves. They called them magic saves. And it's basically the ball is going to go into the out lane, and you hit a third or fourth button, and it makes a little in lane that sends it to the flipper. So your ball is going to drain unless you activate those. So it just makes the game so intense. And for hard body, you kind of tighten your abs and your core as
my
you're playing, because you're like screaming because the ball's coming down fast, and you're like,
can
no.
look
So
at my
then you're getting a
hand
full
now.
workout. Man, I'm exhausted just talking about it. It's really intense. Let's see. What do we see? We're upside down with Kyle.
Oh.
Wait, what are you showing? Where's hard body?
I took it away.
Oh, why?
Are you not done with it?
What?
We
You
didn't
never-
see
what?
it. We didn't see it. We didn't
Oh
know
my
you were
gosh.
ready.
What? You never said. You never
I
said
said
like,
turn
hey,
on
I'm
the
in
Sony
position.
cam in 30 seconds. Okay, now we're back.
That was like 15. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me flip it. Hard body.
Who would
All right.
retheme a hard body? Why?
That person needs to
Well,
be banned if they
I
have to do
don't
that.
want to retheme it, but I was thinking of retheming it maybe to like American Ninja Warrior.
This is
The
about
Moto
as far as
Arcade,
I
the
can go
pinball
because
machine?
the camera's stretching, but
No.
that's the
Yeah,
flex save.
Fliptronic. I want to see the rethemed hard body. Give me some ideas. Okay, yeah, show it off, Kyle.
The ball will
You can't turn it
drain
on.
unless you flex and bring this little
Yeah.
thing back up to the flipper.
So you gotta flex.
It's got
And you're
2
playing
flipper
and you're
buttons.
like, ah, flex.
It's really
Seriously,
awesome.
if you
It's
guys
fun
play this game.
because it just gives you an alternative input, something else you need to do while you're playing the game, which is rewarding. Hard Body is a great game, and anyone who says differently sucks. So
It's because they haven't actually played it. They walked
camera
by it at a show, saw the theme, and was like, meh, Rachel McLish who? And, you know, they don't give it a chance. But once you play Hard Body, oh man, you'll be sweating.
it's a great game. That's one that
Kyle
I
would
really
like this
regret
retheme.
selling.
Okay, I'm gonna click it, Fliptronic. Everyone look at. Oh wow, Pandemic board game, the tabletop game retheme
No.
of Hard Body.
No, poor Hard Body.
Kyle didn't like it. Sorry.
Hard Body is perfect. It's so silly.
Oh.
That's kind of cute how they did the clock like that up for the upper playfield.
It's so sad. That makes me want to cry.
So I almost convinced Jack Danger before he got really, really busy this year or last year to help me retheme Hard Body by just making all the bodies Yakuza bodies. So they would all have the Yakuza.
Big tattoos and whatnot.
Yeah. So everyone would be super tatted out. And then he got busy and ditched me.
Wow.
But I'd still like to do it. So that would be an okay retheme, right, Kyle? It's still Hard Body, but like
Yeah.
have tattoos
No, that's fine. I mean,
of
it's
dragons
funny,
and koi fish
but it's
and
just it's such a
Totoro.
weird theme.
Totoro tattoo.
Totoro tattoos for Yakuza guys. That's tough, man.
Dude, you got to embrace it.
Show off that Valley Viking. Look at that Viking. It's a nice
Oh,
Viking, isn't it?
hi, Fras P. Valley Viking's awesome. I love the side of it.
Yeah.
The cabinet and the head. It's like this Viking guy holding up a sword, and the side of the head is
cool.
the sword.
He's holding.
really
He's
cool.
like in the back, and he's got like a shield on the side, and then his arm goes up on the side of the cabinet, and it's him holding his sword up. That's my favorite game I own, probably.
Oh, Mr. Loaf, the alternate translate for Hard Body is, yeah. I like
Doesn't
Rachel
need- it's
McLish better.
perfect. You do not need to change that game in any way. It is
Yeah.
No,
literally
it's just
perfect.
it's so perfectly 80s.
It's so
It
good.
is so perfectly 80s.
It is so good.
Yeah,
Oh, do
my
you guys
sister was
know
big
why
into
Hard
bodybuilding,
Body
and then-
exists?
One large back Totoro.
Is this
Sorry.
is this a
Don't
good
mind me.
pinball story to
My
give about Hard
Totoro
Body?
tattoos.
You
Yeah.
got a good pinball story about Hard Body?
No, not really, but it's just why it exists.
Oh shoot.
Okay, so Bally, where should I start? Okay, BMX was a really neat theme for a pinball game in '82, and that's when like the pinball market
Yeah, tell the
totally
story.
fell out again. The second time it happened. So they didn't make very many BMXs, but a neat game, pretty innovative. And as you know, Bally kind of owns everything, right? Like Bally had a big slot machine division, and then their slot machine division definitely paid out the pinball division to make all their good stuff. And Bally owned a lot of casinos. So one thing Bally started doing in the 80s was they opened up health clubs. And to kind of merge like multiple like bits of Bally-ness into one thing, they wanted to make a game to go into the health clubs, and that is why Hard Body exists. Because I guess in the 80s, everyone was like ripped and like was lifting weights all the time. So,
Well, obviously.
but that's why, because Bally had a bunch of health clubs, and you know, Bally still does own casinos, right? Like I think there still is a Bally casino in Las Vegas. So it's
yeah.
it's weird though. Like it's a weird thing, but it's perfect. The game is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. If there was a BMX, I would get it. If there was a Dungeons and Dragons, I would get it. Those are awesome themes.
Dungeons and Dragons is a
But I fell
bummer
in love
game,
with
though.
Hard Body first, so I will defend it to my grave.
What'd you say about Dungeons and Dragons, Kyle?
It's kind of a bummer game. It's like
Why?
It's got some cool features, man.
it's got cool features, but it's like a very uninspired game. I feel like with a theme like Dungeons and
Yes.
Dragons, it could have been so good. Imagine if Williams made Dungeons and Dragons. Like That would be pretty.
But they didn't.
But they didn't, and now we just have Dungeons and Disco. It does have a topper that's really cool, though.
Yeah, that topper is rad.
The
What
music
if we
is so good.
created environments based off of pinball machine themes? Like Tracy was saying, the future spa.
Oh, that's the best game.
So we
Another
could
best
all
game.
go to the spa, but it would be like
I'm gonna have to get way more
nipple
ripped before I can
waterfalls.
go to the future spa.
no,
No, you get ripped at
everyone's
the
welcome.
future spa using those
Like instantly, like the
futuristic
crazy.
lifting devices and stuff.
Yeah,
That guy, that's like
his arms are like bulging, like a foot in either direction. It's just like, "Argh."
It's so good.
And the mustache is great too. I'd have to shave my beard and just
Yeah.
have a mustache.
I would go into Frontier and hang out by the campfire by that guy with the crickets. Who is that? That's based off an actual designer, right? Who's the Frontier guy again? It's like
Well,
Grizzly Adams.
It was based off of Grizzly Adams, like a loose theme, but the dude that like is the Frontier guy was like some lady in Bally's accounting's husband or something.
yeah, it was someone.
I guess like the story that I heard from
The husband
Greg
of a Bally
Kymek.
executive.
Yeah, and like he like actually had like an outdoorsy lifestyle, so I guess it was a joke to like make him like a likeness of.
Yeah, and he looks cool, and I would
Frontier
hang out
guy.
with him.
I'd like to go hang out in Junkyard. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, you could feed Spike
Yeah,
toast.
and make cool inventions.
Throwback themes like the Goonies. Yeah, isn't there a Goonies custom? Someone
Yeah.
made a homebrew Goonies.
Yeah,
that would
that's
be
cool.
a cool one to be big. My Stranger Things, the little code name tag on the playfield that's like stapled on there says Goonies. So
Yeah.
that was like the code name they used when they were making Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Jurassic
haunted
Park
house,
and
would be
Jaws.
fun to hang out in too. Yeah.
How about hanging out on Black Hole?
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
We should send people there that we don't
I want to
like.
go to Devil's Dare.
You are a bad customer. You go to Black Hole.
Or that could be our holding. If anyone calls in,
Oh, and you
to the
don't like
sales
them?
team,
Just give them that.
That's a
or
great
the
idea.
or the
maybe we
call-outs
do like
from,
them and we still let them listen to
from
it.
Super Mario Pinball. The call outs from that are the worst.
That's
so
that's like one of the
I don't
worst
know the
games
call outs
ever.
for that.
it's a me. Oh,
It's like
no.
that game.
It's a me,
That game is
Mario.
so sad that in the attract mode it has to like beg you to play it.
Elvira's Mansion.
Have you not heard that?
Elvira's Haunted House of Horrors. would be
Mario's
great.
like, this game's a lots of fun. It's like,
Yeah.
please, please play me.
I'm telling you, it's so much fun. Come on.
Oh,
That would be awesome.
Tracy, that's evil. I love it.
I think we need to hire Tracy
Meteor
as a
sound.
consultant.
Oh my gosh. I like just had a mini heart attack just
Yeah,
thinking about the
yeah.
meteor.
It gave me a small panic attack as well. And I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
So good.
Heart just exploded. We're all dead.
Speaking of which,
so stressful.
I don't feel like I'm having a heart attack anymore. So, thanks everyone.
Yeah, Tracy, those are all great ideas.
Oh.
Satellite style. Awesome. Well, it's 4:58, guys, and Kyle needs to go home.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So you can play as Deadpool.
No. I don't have anyone to play it with.
Oh.
Maybe you should have brought it to the Marco studio and put it right next to Led Zeppelin. Maybe on the
Maybe.
left side of it.
On the
So
left
it's not
side.
like two red pinballs next to each other.
I just can't wait
He's
to
like,
put
I'm
it.
not bringing it.
Pin Daddy wants the TX sector music, and he'd get mad if he was taken off hold. Be like, no, put me back
Yeah.
on hold.
Yeah,
know what?
I love the TX sector music.
Oh.
Oh no.
Gottlieb Monte Carlo has some good music too. I don't know
Hmm.
if anyone's ever played that dumb game, but it's got some good tunes.
Yeah, I need a. When we were doing other games, our intro slide, I would put the theme songs and stuff from the games we were working on. Thank you to PinSound for your awesome library online. for that. But there wasn't anything for Jungle Lord, I don't think. So I've just been putting some weird jungle music that's royalty free.
Royalty free jungle music.
Yeah.
Not the genre.
Tracy has a really cool thing.
Now.
So there isn't anything off the shelf, but I had a customer that only had one arm. And for the games that he was going to keep, one of the modifications we would do is I would drill more holes into the side of their cabinet and install another set of flipper buttons. So you would still have, like, a two-armed person could still play traditionally, but he could play with one hand. The neat thing is this guy would go to the pinball shows in California, and he had I don't remember how it was actuated. I mean, it's just a solenoid, but he had this thing that he would clamp onto the side of the game that was battery powered. And he would play it like this, right? So one finger would be on the flipper button and his thumb would push a button. And this device would like pull a solenoid in and actuate the flipper button on the other side. And it was really neat, like watching this guy play pinball with his like homemade device. I thought that was fun.
That's awesome. RB Flip Friends I'll put it in the chat, also posted a video last week where they had someone mod to do a foot pedal. So this gentleman could not use his left arm. He's paralyzed from his left arm down. And so they installed a foot pedal for him so he could play his Avengers. Cool. So yeah, that's really cool. It would be so great if we sold something like that. Kyle, can you find it?
No, it's all custom made.
Procurement. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Figure out how to make it.
It was neat though. Like this thing was like, you know, it worked. It actuates very quickly, and it was full of like RC car batteries.
That you could take it. Yeah.
Like the dude was able to,
make it
he would just push his thumb down on the lockdown bar, and it would actuate the thing on the other side while still using this hand to do the other buttons. I think it's pretty cool. But there's so many good solutions, right? Like, I mean, cutting into the cabinet is the easiest way to go, but
we need something that, like Tracy's saying, that you could just carry with you, and say you go to a pinball show, you can just attach it and be able to play. So it needs to be I don't know if that's even possible,
lightweight,
but
portable, yeah.
And where you don't have to get into the machine to do it somehow.
I feel like a lot of RC batteries would get pretty heavy quickly. But
it wasn't that. The thing weighed like 5 pounds, but the thing is
right.
you have to have it be able to be used all day, right? Like, that would suck to not be able to play pinball anymore because you got to go recharge your flipper device. I think that was neat, and I think the foot pedal thing is neat too. But I think there are instances like where that wouldn't work for some people either, right? I guess it depends on what your disability is with which appendage, but I was trying to think of that. My dad's in a wheelchair and he can use his arms just fine, but the problem is like, it's hard for him to see, up and above on a pinball game. So I was trying to think of like how to build like some sort of a ramp that would put him at just the right position if I bought him a game or something like that.
Or you could install the short legs.
Yeah, that would be kind of a good idea.
They did for a few of the dedications for Project Pinball, they installed like the Star Wars on short legs, so people for little kids or people that are in wheelchairs or anything like that could easily access it.
The nice thing with the Stern game is the Stern, they install their legs like really, really high on the cabinet, and they use really long legs. So like a modern Stern game uses a 30.5-inch leg. If you put like a modern Stern game on Williams legs, like 28.5-inch legs, that would lower it like just enough. So I was considering it's like if my dad actually did buy a Led Zeppelin, I'd just send him some Williams legs, and that would probably lower it just enough.
A mirror device would be kind of cool.
That is cool.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
There's so many ways to do it.
So for climbers, they make belay glasses. So when you're belaying someone up a mountain, instead of like looking up like this for hours, you're wearing these sets of glasses and looking forward, and it has a little mirror in it
Oh.
that shows up. So maybe it could be some type of
That's interesting.
thing you wear that goes up. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think with the newer games, since they're so deep,
That would be
right?
cool.
Like this way deep, like if you don't have like a view above it, you can't really see where or tell whatever everything that's going on. But at the same time, when I'm on my knees playing pinball, like sitting in front
Periscope,
of it,
yeah.
you can kind of snipe the shots pretty easy too. So a
I
periscope,
would
that's
totally.
interesting.
When I first started playing pinball and like trying to learn to actually do good in pinball and not just flap the ball around, I would bring stools and stand on a stool so I can actually see the back end of the playfield. And if I had a periscope, man, I wouldn't need stools.
A pinball periscope. That's one of the P's of pinball, right? Periscope.
There's 5 P's now.
Just steal the one from Seawolf and attach it. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's big and bulky though, right? I need like a keychain. I have a little tiny harmonica keychain. I would want a periscope version of that. And I'll go.
I think
Somehow.
making accessibility devices would be really neat. So there is something to be said about that.
Oh yeah, Periscope app turned into, I don't know, Facebook Live.
Yeah, I think they bought it, right? Facebook bought it.
Yeah,
Colin
Facebook bought
Baxter,
Periscope.
if you want to post a picture, all you got to do is post it in the Discord channel.
You can talk
on
all
our
about
Marco
beer.
Pinball server.
Oh, double two-hearted. Oh, I'm so
That
jealous.
sounds good. Hey, because
I'm
what I'm
so
gonna do when I
jealous.
get home,
I haven't had one of those since I got married, man.
I'm gonna go pick up my beer. I'm gonna go sit on my porch and drink a beer, and then I'm gonna go to the
And go on
arcade
Discord.
and fix all the games that are broken, and then I'm gonna come home and drink another beer. So if you get on that Discord, we can share beer pics.
Should I make a channel that's called Beer?
Duh.
I
If
think
Colin
just have a
comes.
general. That's
Yeah,
what the general
general.
channel is
That's
for.
general
Okay,
chat.
I put the general chat.
All right.
I said place for everything not related to pinball.
There you go.
So we have a general chat, we have a PinTech live chat, we have a Marco After Hours chat. I put that as the not safe for work one because it's like the water cooler chat. We'll use it like when we're playing games, that live streaming our Marco After Hours, or maybe stuff that maybe youngins don't need to see. Post in the after hours. We
Listening
got
to
the
Kyle
restream
swear
chat,
a lot.
which that's like a bot. And then we have Pinball Pets, which will
Aw.
probably be the one you see me most in.
I'm gonna try to
That
get my
was
cats to
the
get on my
best idea
games
of the
now.
day. Yeah. I have pictures of your cats on pinball machines.
Tracy killing it today with the good ideas.
I know.
About that.
Inventor.
Stilts attached to the pinball legs for those. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Could you nudge it though? If you were like had things connected to the legs, could you still nudge? That's actually why I stopped using my step stools, because then I was way too high up and I couldn't actually physically nudge the game and control the ball as much. So I
Don't
went
have
back
the,
down.
The leverage.
Plus, I saw a lot of other players that were shorter, and they gave me confidence that I can play things short. But I just saw so many tall people are all like the top players in the world. And they're all tall,
All those freaks.
but maybe just everyone's tall compared to me.
Maybe.
Cute dog.
And everyone is short compared to. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, in America, anything alcohol is immediately rated R because we're all weird Puritans. So.
Thanks for coming by, Colin. Enjoy your beer, man. I'm
Enjoy.
totally jealous.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. We're gonna jump off to next week. We're gonna be working back on the Indy 500.
Yeah. Hold on,
Mitch
I
will
gotta
be
show
here
something
modding.
too.
Who are
Evil
we gonna
Bomb
raid?
posted something really
Oh my
good.
god, we gotta raid somebody.
My Facebook photo, friend of the show, Ashley Ludwig, took this great photo of me at Houston last year. This is my pinball power stance.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You got to get down at the level of the ball, you know? So.
And you're still taller than me like that.
Look how short my hair was too. Look at that.
I remember.
Damn. I look so much more handsome.
Oh,
I'm gonna get my hair cut next week for anyone who is done hearing me complain about my hair. I'm really looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us
Live
on the live
journals.
stream. Who are we gonna raid? Are we gonna raid Manu? Is he live right now?
He's live. Yeah, Mystery Pinball Theater 3K is playing Hoops, and then
Nice.
Play Better Pinball is playing Metallica.
Well, we had a long conversation about needing to raid Manu, so
We haven't raided Manu in a while, right? So we're gonna go there.
playing the best pin ever, Stars. You're right. That's why I was doing that, Rep. It's the greatest game ever. Don't giraffes
Alright.
do that stance? Yeah. Well, come on now. You don't need to call me names.
Kyle's kind of a giraffe, so.
I really like Play Better Pinball. If you guys haven't checked out his stream, you should give him a follow. Maybe he'll go on next week and we'll raid him then. But for now, let's raid Manu because it's been a while.
Yeah.
And we love Hoops and we love Free Gold Watch if that's where he's at.
Oh, he is.
Manu has a
Thanks,
great
our hoodie.
stream.
Did I bring all the camera stuff
One of the
home
best
so I can
produced stream.
stream Deadpool?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so lazy though.
No, don't do it.
Hey, if you want me to stream Deadpool, tell me in Discord tonight, and then I'll do it sometime this week or next week. So.
Yeah. Stream it on your phone.
Pushing this Discord thing.
All right, thanks everyone.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna post the Discord chat one more time for you guys to join, and then also don't forget our 24-hour free domestic shipping code is all caps PT-Pop-Tart.
Uh-oh.
Here
Everyone says do it.
it is. Oh no. All right, see you guys in the Mystery Pinball Theater one, and for everyone on Facebook and YouTube, see you next week. Thank you. Rating.
Rating.
Splash screen. Oops.
Oh, you got cut
Splash
off.
screen.
There it goes.
Nah.